This is a podcast by the Straits Times.
Hello and welcome to Pop Vultures, a pop culture podcast by the Straits Times. My name is Jen Lee and with me is Joe.
Hello.
Who is a birthday boy today.
Happy
on the
birthday
day we
to
are
me.
recording. Yes, happy birthday to Sam Joe.
Yeah.
So sorry for being away for a bit. Sam Joe went on vacation to South Africa.
I did. We can tell you more about that in our next episode if you guys want to hear about that. But hey, I came back today on my birthday because we wanted to talk about a very important issue.
Yes, today we are talking about Chinese politics.
Yes.
And what happens to all the celebrities who work in Mandarin
Chinese
entertainment. Mandarin
exactly.
entertainment. And this has really been in the news recently because of the protests in Hong Kong over an extradition bill. So the protests were historic, right? I mean, millions and millions of Hong Kongers stepped out in the street to say they don't want this extradition bill. And it's a very chaotic time from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And
asking for Carrie Lam, the chief executive, to step down and
yes,
everything.
to resign.
It's ongoing now, actually. She
ongoing
apologized
now.
yet again, and the protesters rejected her apology. So it remains to be
The
seen.
extradition bill was suspended, so
Right. Indefinitely.
It's going on. It's still going on.
Going on.
And celebrities have been caught in the fire. So of course we're referring to, if you followed the news, Jackie Chan. So Jackie Chan was in Taipei promoting his new album, which hello, Jackie Chan sings.
Yeah,
He
I was
sings.
like, are you serious? I thought he just
Okay.
fights. But
I
anyway.
mean, he actually does sing. It's just been so long since an album. So he was in there promoting his album, and then somebody asked him about the Hong Kong protests, and he said, I actually don't know. I don't follow the news. I don't know what's going on.
Jackie Chan, one of the biggest film stars to come out of Hong Kong. How can you say that you don't know what's going on in your own backyard, you know?
And I mean, ignorance is bad, but this is clearly fake ignorance. He doesn't want to wade into the waters, and then he's trying to pass it off like he doesn't know.
Right, is it ignorance or is it apathy? So that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah, so...
And not just Jackie Chan, of course, that got into trouble. People who were seen in photos with Jackie Chan, and we're talking celebrities like Taiwanese singer Jay Chou and Japanese rocker Yoshiki.
Of ex-Japan, yes.
Also gonna drag into the whole...
Yeah, gonna drag into the whole thing. Jay Chou posted a photo of himself having tea with Jackie Chan, and people were leaving comments like, I'm so disappointed in you, Jay, for fraternizing with such a pro-China celebrity.
Right.
That's a word that has very loaded, so we're gonna get into all that sensitivities later.
Right.
And then people are saying Jackie Chan is a disappointment to Hong Kong. I can't believe, Jay, you hang out with him, you know? And then people also doing the same thing to Yoshiki, which dude, Yoshiki's Japanese.
Yeah, what's he gonna do with him? The poor guy.
Yeah.
He was just excited to be having lunch with Jackie Chan, right?
Or dinner or whatever, just having a meal with him. And then...
But unfortunately, given the current climate, that Jackie Chan, he is seen as a symbol of being pro-China.
In Hong Kong,
in Hong Kong in particular, correct. And he has a history, right?
He has a history. So let's background this a little bit, okay? But first, a little bit of context as to why Jackie Chan in particular is such a trigger, I think, for Hong Kong people. So yes, Jackie Chan, one of the most famous Chinese stars in the world, right? Did all the movies, Rush Hour,
Shanghai Nights.
Shanghai Nights with our local fan Wang Jie, right? So of course he's huge. Unfortunately, or rather, I think unfortunately for him, in Hong Kong he's seen as very pro-China for a reason. He has come out in 2014 during Occupy Central, right? Which was the first wave of pro-democracy movements in Hong Kong in 2014. He posted something along the lines of how much money Hong Kong lost, how much economic loss Hong Kong suffered during the protest, and called for everyone to be rational. And Hong Kong people really took to it very badly. Why are you not backing us? You're from Hong Kong. How can you say this kind of things?
Right. He said there is no prosperous home without a strong country.
So people were like, you're a sellout. That's one. And a few years prior to 2014, actually, he said a comment that is really very not sensitive. So he said, I feel that we Chinese people need to be controlled.
He did not. Did he?
He said, if we're not being controlled, we'll just do what we want. That's why we're so chaotic. So he's trying to say, he's not for freedom, basically.
Right. Shot himself in the foot right there, I must say.
Yeah, I mean...
that was then, and that's why Jackie Chan has such a bad rep in that respect.
Yes. In this current climate, right, if you are active on social media but you are not actively voicing out your support, then you will be dragged by Hong Kong netizens. If you are actively voicing out your support for the protest, then you will be dragged by Chinese netizens. So it's really a bad space to be in for celebrities. So on both sides, we have seen people dragged into this. Charmaine Xie, your favorite Xian Fei, right?
Oh, yes.
From
Hong Kong
Yanxi
actress Charmaine Xie. She played Xian Fei.
In Yanxi
And
Palace.
Hui Fa Nara. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
So she liked a picture on IG, on Instagram about the protest, and Chinese netizens immediately denounced her, right?
Right.
And then on the other side, you have Hong Kong celebrities like Sean Yue and Kelly Chen, the singer Chen Huiling, who was in Infernal Affairs, actually. I don't know if you remember. But
Right.
yeah, she was in Infernal Affairs. Both Sean Yue and her are both in
both of
Infernal,
them, yeah. So Infernal Affair castmates, okay?
Yes. Sean Yue and Kelly Chen.
Right. Doing very innocent and innocuous things.
Yes, so
like,
Sean Yue posted a pic of himself having fun with his son on a boat or something and dragged because people were like, I can't believe you have the mood to go and do these things where Hong Kong is going through such protests. I can't believe you are not caring. You know?
Right, and poor Kelly Chen was just promoting mooncakes
Yes.
as part of an endorsement deal.
She was promoting mooncakes and then she got dragged and people were like, how dare you post this kind of things in a time when Hong Kong is going through such trauma and turmoil.
Right, how dare you?
yeah.
So all got into trouble, basically.
And it's not just Hong Kong celebrities, you know, every single celebrity who works in the field of, let's say, Mandarin language entertainment, right? Chinese language entertainment, suffer from political sensitivities because China has very fraught relationships with both Hong Kong and Taiwan.
So when it comes to China politics with Hong Kong and Taiwan and celebrities that come out of China and Hong Kong and Taiwan, it's always very tricky.
It's always very tricky for them,
yeah.
yes.
So in the case of Jackie Chan and Jay Chou and Yoshiki, we've seen what happened to them.
Of course, I think Sam Zhou's favorite, A-mei.
Zhang Hui-mei, one of the haiku的声音.
Okay, never mind.
So she's one of like the
Top
eminent
singers.
divas from Taiwan,
Yes.
alright?
A-list as you can get in Mando Pop, right?
Exactly. She is
Yes.
basically a Tian Ho,
Yes.
right? She's a queen.
She also suffered from these political sensitivities. So in year 2000, A-mei was invited to sing at former Taiwanese President Chen Shui-bian's swearing-in ceremony, right? So she sang, wow, this is tricky, but she sang the
Taiwan's 国歌,
Yes.
which if we were to translate it to English,
it's basically a national anthem, but because Taiwan is not technically recognized as a country in a lot of the world, I guess we can call it basically the Taiwanese equivalent, right, of Majula Singapura, right?
is essentially, right?
Yes,
Right.
she sang that and promptly was blacklisted and banned from performing in China. For like 4 years.
Wow.
It's a long time, right? To not earn money from that part of the world.
And at the time, she had this advertisement that she did with Sprite,
Yes.
right? 雪碧. And what happened to that?
It couldn't be played on Chinese television channels. They couldn't even play the music, you know, from that Sprite commercial. So it was really bad. Like, she was really banned from a lot of channels in China. It was only in like 2004 that they actually started to let her come back. She seems to be doing okay now. She's
doing great. She's
Yeah.
doing great. I've seen her in concert recently and she's amazing.
Of course, I think she's learned to be a bit more careful about what she says and does.
I mean, she's appearing on all these shows in mainland China as well, reality TV.
So she can't be too fast and loose, you know, with what she says now. Then, of course, not just that. More recently, I think an example would be in the K-pop girl group Twice, which is a JYP entertainment group. One of the members is Taiwanese. She's a Tzuyu, right? So Tzuyu said, basically, there was a video where they had to sort of introduce where they came from.
Right.
And Tzuyu waved the Taiwanese equivalent of their national flag.
Right.
And got dragged through the mud by
was-
Chinese netizens. She was denounced. People were sending her hate comments. And then JYP Entertainment came out to say that Tzuyu supports the One China policy.
And she was forced to apologize.
Okay, that's a speculation. Nobody ever said she was forced.
It was a question on my part.
But if you watch the video of Tsuyu's apology, it kind of looks like a hostage situation.
Really?
Like, it looks really bad. I'm just going to play a small part. She
Right.
looks
This is on
very-
YouTube, by the way. Y'all
It's on
can go
YouTube.
check it out.
She looks very haggard. She looks very tired. She looks like she cried. And
Okay, let's hear what she had to say in the video.
中国只有一个，海峡两岸是一体的。我始终为自己是一个中国人而感到骄傲。
Wow. Okay. Well, if you guys didn't understand Mandarin, she basically said there is only one China.
The Straits, when she says 海峡两岸的, which is across the Straits, that means Taiwan and China are one. And I have always been very proud of myself as a Chinese. And she says 中国人, which is generally the term used to refer to someone as a member of People's Republic of China instead of Taiwan, right?
Right. Instead of Republic of China, ROC.
Yes, that apology, because it looks so forced and because it looks so unreluctant, was garnered a lot of attention in Taiwan because people felt like she was being bullied into apologizing, right?
Right, so that happened. That was depressing.
Yeah, for a bit. Even JYP, our entertainment, some of the artists, their songs were taken off Chinese music streaming sites.
Oh,
so
wow.
it didn't just affect Twice.
Right, so the repercussions were far and wide beyond just her, right?
Yes.
And it all just stemmed from her waving the Taiwanese flag. Anyway, at this point, if you are enjoying our podcast, this episode of Pop Vultures, do find us on the Straits Times podcast channel, iTunes, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. Also, you can check us out on YouTube. We have a channel there. Like and rate us. And back to our show. Let us continue with this week's topic. We're talking about celebrities and China politics, all right? So just a little bit of recap. Jackie Chan, Jay Chou, and Yoshiki all got into trouble in light of the current ongoing Hong Kong protests.
For not caring about it enough, basically.
For not caring about like the pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong. So we're going to talk a bit about what we feel like, So Jen, can you just recap like why are public sentiments so volatile when it comes to Hong Kong and Taiwanese issues?
I think we have to recognize that Taiwan and Hong Kong face very different circumstances. I think Taiwanese and Hong Kong people do tend to relate to one another in the sense that they feel perhaps bullied by China or overpowered by China, but they are very different. Hong Kong was never a country, never. It was always a colony. It was a British colony that eventually got returned to China. So it never had the rights that a country had. Maybe it enjoyed a lot of freedom under British rule, but it never was a country. That's an important fact to bear in mind because Taiwan was actually a country.
At one point, right? Once upon a time.
They were in the UN. They were actually recognized as the legitimate government of China for a bit of time in history. That time has since passed, but they were in the UN. They had legitimate rights as a country. So they do face different circumstances, and it's not as much of a controversy, I think, when a Hong Kong celeb says they're from China, which Jackson Wang from K-pop group GOT7, he's from Hong Kong. He actually says, I'm from China, I'm 中国人. That doesn't cause as much controversy because technically, Hong Kong is unequivocally a part of China. Even if it is a special administrative region, it is a part of China.
Right.
Taiwan, if you're a Taiwanese celebrity who says you're Chinese, you're gonna stir up a lot of feelings in Taiwanese people because for all intents and purposes, the governments are separate, the sovereignties are separate. For now, we don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, so essentially the TLDR is China still considers Hong Kong and Taiwan, both of them to be part of China. And anytime you indicate that you are anything other than China,
that's where problem comes in.
That's where you're caught controversy, right? And
Chinese
that's where
netizens are very, very vocal, very, very willing to go on Weibo and flood you with hate comments.
Right.
So are Taiwanese and Hong Kong netizens, actually. So this is a topic that really rouses up a lot of feelings.
Right.
Patriotism, nationalism,
Yeah.
pro-democracy, pro-what party, it's the political beliefs. It's very...
Incites all this outrage, essentially. And speaking of outrage, there is this wave of outrage culture, right? Like over the years, but particularly now in 2019, like it's understandable that they are concerned about their home democracy and sovereignty and everything. But do you then think that celebrities don't have the right to continue living their lives? Like if they post on social media, I'm just like Sean Yue and his son, he's just doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Why are they getting slammed for just living their life
I think
apolitically,
I think definitely outrage culture plays a part. It's very easy to be angry, right, over the internet for somebody for not caring about your cause or whatever. And so there is that oversensitivity, I think, on the part of netizens to react very badly when somebody seems to not care as much. But also on the flip side, I think celebrities should have been a little bit more careful given the context, given what's going on right now. They should just keep quiet, man. You don't want to take a side, keep quiet, but don't post pictures of yourself going out looking happy. Like, not the right time.
So
it's
try
like,
and lay low.
It's like if somebody is grieving, you don't go to somebody who maybe just suffered a traumatic loss and be like, I just went on this great vacation to Japan. Like, that's not sensitive even in real life,
It strikes people as you being tone deaf, right? At best, it might be described as ignorant. At worst, apathetic, essentially, right? Which brings me to my question, right? Keeping silent. And a lot of celebrities actually do keep silent. Why do you think so many of them are reluctant to take a stand? I'm talking about celebrities in the Mandopop industry in particular.
It comes back down to this. Always comes back down to money. it comes back down to money, right? Can't survive without money. Everybody wants money. And
where's the money at?
Let's face it,
China.
In Mandarin entertainment right now, if you are not making PRC money, you are not making money. Okay?
Right, period.
Okay, I'm sure MediaCorp celebrities are making money, but PRC money is the real money, is the good money, is your millions, is the stuff that can make you invest in properties all over the world. That's PRC money, right?
Right.
So the nature of Chinese entertainment industry has really changed. The hub of it used to be more Taiwan and Hong Kong.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, in the 80s and the 90s, that's where you want to go.
Which is why people like, our homegrown stars like Stephanie Sun and JJ Lin, they all went to Taiwan to make it big, right?
Yeah.
But now that's not the case.
Yeah, even like got Tony Leung's wife, Karina Lau. I think she's actually originally from China. She went to Hong Kong to make it as a movie star.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So, things like that. Clearly, the nature of it has changed. Now the money is in China. Now everybody wants to go to China to have a career, right? Li Nansing, our local actor, signed a contract with Zhao Wei. So that
Vicky Zhao, yes.
So that she can manage his activities in China. So, it's very easy for us to say, how can you be such a sellout for money? How can you not stand for your principles? How can you not back your country up? But let's be honest, how many of us ourselves are willing to hold on to our principles in the face of a lot of money?
Yeah. And in the face of if that's where the majority of your fan base is, because let's not forget China, one of the biggest countries in the world.
And the most populous country in the world.
Yeah, exactly. And if all of your fans are there, then obviously you're going to have to do business there. You're going to have to earn a livelihood. That's where your livelihood is going to be. That's where your rice bowl is.
It's like, we look at May Day, okay? May Day
Taiwanese band.
As Taiwan can get, right? Taiwanese band, very, very, very famous band. Guess where May Day is making their money? May Day has held hundreds of concerts in provinces in China you've never even heard of, okay? Like Taiyuan, Jinan, Guizhou. That's where they're holding their concerts. That's where they are earning their money, This touring, they're touring in a large part, they're touring very heavily in China. That's where they earn their money, right?
Right.
So sometimes it's not even money. Sometimes it's not even money. Sometimes it's dreams. Imagine for Tzuyu, she trained half her life to be a K-pop girl group member. And then now, because she says she's from Taiwan, she's going to have all of that taken away from her. It's
People
very
boycotting her. It's very difficult.
It's very hard to stand your ground when that ground is standing in the way of your livelihood, is standing in the way of your dreams. If you want to make a movie and you need Chinese money,
it's standing in the way of your life, because sometimes people receive death threats as well.
Yeah, exactly, So should we judge celebrities for remaining silent?
I don't think so. Do people have the right to be so pissed off? That's what you're asking, right?
You have, okay? So it comes down to this. You want to be pissed off at them? Go ahead and be pissed off at them. You want to boycott them? Go ahead and boycott them, right? But I think it is important to also recognize that they are in a difficult position because they have fans on both sides. They are making money on both sides. And there are consequences to picking a side, right? There are actual consequences to picking a side. Like, say, Denise Ho, who is a pro-democracy activist and a lesbian singer who came out. She's from Hong Kong. She has been banned in China, completely banned in China, because she is very pro-democracy. She always posts about, all the activism and all the movements that she does. This time around, she has been talking to CNN about Hong Kong's protests. So she's very vocal. She's not making Chinese money. It's as simple as that. She's suffering because of that. She made a choice.
But that's her choice and she's suffering the consequences.
That's her choice. More power to her, but it's difficult for everybody to make that choice. It is difficult. We have to recognize that.
Right. But not all celebrities are culpable. Poor Jay Chou and Yoshiki.
Jay Chou actually, so that's the thing, right? Jay Chou actually I can sort of understand. I think a lot of Taiwanese people feel a lot of solidarity with the Hong Kong people, and seeing Jay Chou, one of their most iconic stars, come out to pose with Jackie Chan, I guess that hurt some of their feelings.
Right.
Definitely. But Yoshiki, guys, Yoshiki is Japanese. Let's not drag a dude from a random different country. Okay, Japan has a lot of fraught relationship with China as well, but let's not drag this dude into this argument.
Sure.
He met up with a big Mandarin movie star. He had dinner with him. Come on, do you expect everybody to suffer with you? Don't expect every single star in the world to suffer with you, to go through your struggles with you. He's Japanese. He's not going through your struggles. He doesn't have to care. Why do we...
I feel like you can come from, a different country, like we in Singapore as well. We all have our personal beliefs and opinions about the protests and movements going on, right? I think we do have feelings about it as well. But it is his choice. I think that's the thing. Let Yoshiki make his decision whether or not he wants to sit down to drinks and lunch with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And if he indeed does decide to, then, he shouldn't be receiving all that flack. I mean, of course, it's different, like you mentioned, like if you're part of the Chinese pop industry or the Chinese entertainment industry, then it's a little bit more tricky. You're kind of like mostly caught between a rock and a hard place, right? You know, you want to take a stand, but at the same time, you also want to be successful and you want to like hang out with your friends, like, you know. And I think that is the issue with Mandarin and Chinese entertainment as a whole. Like your fans, you know, are the Chinese diaspora around the world. They transcend so many things, nationalities, boundaries, political beliefs. You can never please all of your fans.
Yes.
And you can never please those people who are onlookers and who are consumers of your music and your movies and who may not necessarily root for you all the time.
Yeah, and some people are just haters. You know, they take the chance to jump at you.
That's true.
Right?
Trolls.
And I think somewhat another important point to be made is that the celebrities who are getting dragged are the celebrities who are active, who are out there saying things or doing things, whether they are related to the protest or not. Guess who's earning Chinese money but not getting dragged? Andy Lau. Hong Kong artist, not getting dragged. Why? Because he keep quiet, right? Sometimes it's, you know, we don't get angry because somebody keep quiet. Or we don't get angry because somebody don't say anything. Like, so
to quote Robert Frost, he knows in singing not to sing.
Yeah, like sometimes we pick the people who are easy targets, right? Because they are out there doing things. So a word of advice to celebrities in fraud times, just maybe keep your head down.
Keep your head down.
Don't talk about it. Don't wade into it. And you can come out somewhat safe on the other side. Yeah, just wait for it to, you know, lie low. Wait for it to be over, right? And for netizens, come on, like you can kind of tell where netizens are being a bit too much sometimes in the case of Yoshiki. But if you want to be angry, go ahead and be angry. If you want to boycott, go ahead and boycott. But I think it is important to know that people with different political beliefs and leanings exist, and they will always exist with us.
Yeah.
And that's just something you have to accept.
That's true, and that's the way of life.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, that is your dose of pop culture for this week. If you have any ideas on what we should talk about next, please leave us a comment. You can send us your feedback at podcast@sph.com.sg, or you can email Jen at jenlee@sph.com.sg.
Yes.
You can email me, Samjo, at yosamjo@sph.com.sg. All right, in the meantime, she's Jen.
And he's Sam Joe.
And this was
Pop
Vultures.
Vultures.
Thank you for listening.
Goodbye.
That was an SPH podcast by the Straits Times and the Business Times. Find us on Spotify, Apple or Google Podcasts, or streaming on Google Home. Do feedback to us at podcast@sph.com.sg. You can also check out more podcasts on various topics at the Straits Times and the Business Times online.